Well, thank you, loading save screen. Even though I missed the majority of that cutscene. Crap. I had to get my dinner. Ah, the sunless waterscape.
Fresh air. Nice.
So, where we headed?
Dunno.
You don't know? I thought you had somewhere in mind the way you took off.
I followed the smell.
What?
Smells nice. All naturey.
Just smells damp. And I think something bit me.
Hide!
Skyfleet. Closest city that way is Palimpolim. That is not good. I wonder if those two were caught in the net.
What do we do?
What do we do? Right now, what can we do?
Right. No choice. We run the other way.
Which would be to Nautilus.
As we set off, it was like he'd forgotten that I was still there.
You want to get to Nautilus? Our road's through here.
Alright.
We need to clear these woods.
Instrument of survival. So, Sunless Waterscape is one of my favorite areas in the game. Probably next to Pulse. Characters can now develop further. Yeah, I know. Thank you. Let's see. I think I'll have her like this. Asuna, Kira. Okay. Saboteur. I'll need the debuffs. Poison, Magic 4. Why did the Saboteur have Quake? Increase 10. Roll levels can wait. Alright, and the rest of it can go to Ravager. Alright. Water and thunder. Majority of this. Oh, I got another accessory equipped. Alright. Let's see. Ravager. Ravager is basic. Might need this. Let's see how. Okay. Blitz. Quake. Okay. I'll use the rest for Ravager. Alright. So we try to keep this going and hopefully get somewhere today. Well, you know, earlier today, like I just said, I've been working outside. It's been very, very, very humid out, to the point where it's really hard to concentrate on anything after work, because you put all your energy into when you're outside. You're trying not to concentrate on passing out in the heat. We're putting on metal, so it's really tough to work in this environment. And, well, the other day my dad nearly had a heat stroke, and it nearly scared the crap out of everybody. Okay, how can you block a spell? Excuse me? How can you do that? Wait a minute. Oh yeah, somewhere down the line we're gonna run into these enemies that do, oh. Hey! These guys aren't as fast as Hope and Lightning are. So we, ah, son of a... Alright, so we gotta get through this area, this forest. I remember this place quite well, in 13-2, actually, because I loved the music, and there was a couple of hidden items to find there. So I remember that. I remember this place in a way, but it's just too bad you can't ever come back to this place after. Whoops! What the fuck was that? Oh, there went my notebook. I'm using to keep track of my recordings. Anyway. One of these days, I just might not do commentary anymore, and just... Because you guys keep hearing the same damn thing come out of my mouth every time. But the song you're hearing is basically
All this dampness is damp.
It's a jungle, Saz. What are these things? Like I said, you know, the linearity of this game is appalling in most respects. There are some areas that you're like, okay, we should be able to get to them. It isn't until much later in the game that you will be able to make it to... Oh, hedge frog. I see what you did there. That's one thing about this game that many people don't like. I mean, it's the linearity. But I can look past that, to an extent.
Well, I guess this is better than homicidal scorpion robots and mountains of trash.
You bet. Splitting the road. Alright, well, this up here leads to a dead end, so there's probably a treasure.
This place would make a nice picnic spot, minus all the uninvited guests.
Yeah, the trees are the size of skyscrapers. Or, no, wait, those... No, those are... No, I'm such an idiot. Those, of course, are... cliffs. But... regardless... So after this, I might do 9. Might do tactics, one or the other. I'm free until midnight, so... Tomorrow I won't be able to do any recording, so I might as well do some video work. Edit. On days when I don't work and I have nothing to do, I usually edit. It usually takes me 30 minutes to edit one video. Get the audio and video synced together, and then depending on the quality I want to do it. I'm starting to... I'm trying to upload my videos on YouTube in HD, which is a stretch from the recorder I'm using. Like I said, you know, I'm using a Pinnacle Dazzle DVC 100, which is quite old, but it gets the job done, so I'm not complaining. Haha!
You're gonna regret.
Coming from the girl with an Australian accent. Whoop, no, damn it. Fucker! I didn't want that. I wanted the plant. Ah, damn it! I should have just let him keep going. Anyway, the recorder I'm using is like 10 years old. And it would have worked. It worked nicely for my Xbox 360 when I had it, but then my computer pretty much burnt out, and I had to wait to get another one. And it wasn't until years later that I got a computer that could support this, and even then it has its problems. And then there was this other computer that my brother-in-law promised me, but I forgot about it because I got a computer working, and they were 1,000 miles away. They still are 1,000 miles away. So, getting in, and besides, I'm not planning on recording games in the future. I think when my library is finally empty, I'll get rid of this computer tower I have and make things simpler on myself. So, I might just record all the PS3 games that I have, and then just... I'll keep my PS3, largely because there are games that I want to keep playing that I know that developers will never release again. Like, one of the games I like to play is Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, and unless Konami is a little crazy about rebooting its Castlevania series, I doubt I'll see this again. Hell, in the future they may even have it to the PlayStation Now thing that they have going on, which I hate. I'm not a big fan of renting anything. If I ever want to play a game, I will buy the game, and if I have to buy the game, I will keep it. You go to Redbox. I don't want to pay $18 a month for playing games when the games that I like are virtually lumped together. I try not to branch out too far in games that I like to play. Like my top 5 favorite franchises are Pokemon, Castlevania, Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, and Kingdom Hearts. Those are basically the only franchises I will buy without even reviewing the game. So, if any one of those games come out, yeah, I'll take a look at it. But if it strays off to what I'm not too used to, then there's a problem. Speaking of problems, I saw the trailer for Resident Evil 7 that was recently announced, and I hate it.
Way to go,
Well, first impressions, I hate it. I read about it, I thought, well, maybe this is just cinematics, you know, Capcom usually does that. And then I read on about it, Resident Evil 7 is going to be a first-person shooter. Something I don't think the series has ever done before, but they're concentrating more on horror. And from the sounds of it, it might be a sequel to Resident Evil Revelations 2. But to me, my love for the Resident Evil series has just gone down the drain since 4 was released. I mean, I loved 4, I loved 5. 6 was a downer. And everything else in between, Capcom is just screwed up. Square Enix is kind of following in that kind of category too. But their main problem is they're trying to do too much. Well, thanks, Finial. Belladonna Wand. Alright. Belladonna raises strength, lowers magic. Improved debuffing. Well, considering she's a saboteur, makes sense. Oh yeah, this guy's got tungsten. I better give this to her. And I'll give this to him, just because. Anyway, one of the things I don't like about Square Enix right now is they're concentrating so much on mobile games that it leaves us console players left out. Now, I've played Final Fantasy Record Keeper. I played that for a long time, but eventually just got so too many microtransactions that it would cause me to not love it anymore. I am looking forward to the mobile game Mobius Exvius, or Exvius, Brave Exvius, I believe it is. I actually pre-ordered it, so not all is lost, but I just don't like that, you know, they're going off of spin-offs and mobile titles and things like. Well, when you come out with a game like Resident Evil, or no, sorry, I am so sorry, Resident Evil, Dissidia is okay because it's a fanboy's wet dream. That is what I would call it. And the fact that Square hasn't announced any plans to release the game on PlayStation 4 yet, even though it's been a rumor for over a year now, it's really disheartening. But I personally think the Final Fantasy series started to go downhill a little bit after 10 was released. The merger with Enix, Square's primary rival at the time. Final Fantasy X-2, I love that game, but it does have its problems, and it shows. Final Fantasy XII, that was a great game, but there was just too much to do to play the game multiple times. I can play 9 2 or 3 times in a row and not get bored. 12, I think I've only played through from beginning to end twice over the span of 8 years. It's great. It's a great game, great storyline, great characters, a great Final Fantasy game. But I can't. It just requires too much energy to play through, and I blame the side quests for that. I think Dark Hefka, YouTube guru of Final Fantasy, brought it up real nice. He says everything you got to do is connected. Like, you can't get to this quest until you do this one, and you can't get to this quest before you do this one. So, that to me is just a downer. I never did play 11, and the servers for that game have long since shut down. I don't think I would want to. Oh man, so many flans. Final Fantasy 14, I would enjoy playing that if I didn't have to use a credit card. Oh, let me clarify that for a second. If I could use PlayStation money, I would do it. I would play the game more often than not. But the fact that you gotta have an online subscription separate from your PlayStation Network account is really dumb. The second is the outrageous subscription prices. When I started to look into getting a PS4 and I saw that Final Fantasy XIV was, A Realm Reborn was being released on sale on Black Friday, I saw it and I thought, great, I'm going to play it. You get 30 days free. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I realized, one, MMORPGs of that kind are not my thing because I get bored of them if I play by myself a lot faster than if I were to play with my friends. Like Destiny, I can keep playing for a long time. Wait, there's something over here. Destiny, I can play for a long time by myself. But 14, I could because there's just so much you have to do. It's exhausting.
No daydreaming now.
It just does not feel right to play. And on top of that, the subscription prices, like I said, are ridiculous. You gotta pay $18 for 1 month. And then for a year, you gotta pay $80. And I know these people have to make money to maintain the updates and whatnot, but it's still ridiculous that you have to pay. I have to pay $50 a year for a subscription price for a PlayStation Network, and $80 just to play a game. It's ridiculous.
I'm tougher than you thought, huh?
So, like, whatever, you know, Square's got to make money somehow. Like the multiple mobile games that they did, that they've been doing, haven't been enough. But I do hope that Final Fantasy XV returns the series to a more simplistic route. But I just don't like all this spin-off stuff that they're doing. Ever since Final Fantasy Advent Children came out, everything's been going for spin-offs, like they're trying to ease up on the game's success.
Hey, Saz. Tell me about yourself.
Huh?
Any family?
I have a little boy.
Oh, so you're married.
I was, yeah.
We gotta get you home. Your son needs you. Come on, we'll make it.
It's too late.
Is it the lassie thing?
How'd you...
You might be a lassie, but you're still a daddy.
You're right.
So, what's his name?
What's Angelo doing in this game?
Dodge.
Hey, Dad.
Making a wish, huh?
Oh.
What'd you wish for?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're never happy. You never smile. So here's what I wished. I wish that you'd cheer up and be like your old self again.
How about that?
Whoa.
Your wish came true.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, it's my turn to wish.
What for, Dad?
That's my little secret.